Some doors don't lead to places. They lead to versions of yourself you forgot existed. Ethan was 17, a quiet boy in a small village surrounded by misty hills and dying traditions. He wasn't unhappy, but he wasn't anything at all. He existed more than he lived. His father had left when he was 10. His mother was kind but always tired. School was dull. Friends? Not really. Ethan had this ache in his chest that words couldn't touch, the kind of emptiness that made you wonder if you were even real. He often wandered into the woods after school, where the world felt softer, quieter. It was the only place where his thoughts didn't echo too loud. One late afternoon, as the sun dipped into orange and the air smelled like old leaves, Ethan saw something odd. A white bird, pure, glowing slightly in the dying light, perched on the branch, staring at him. But it wasn't just a bird. Its eyes were deep, human almost, as if it knew him. Then it took flight. Not fast, slow, deliberate, like it wanted him to follow. And so, without thinking, he did. The deeper Ethan went, the stranger the forest became. The trees weren't where he remembered them. Paths twisted like they were rearranging behind him. He passed a mirror hanging from a branch. It reflected him, but he looked older, wiser, sadder. Then came the whispers, not voices, but feelings, regret, joy, fear, as if the trees remembered lives that had passed beneath them. The bird landed again, by a small stream, then vanished behind a curtain of moss. Ethan pushed through and stepped into a clearing that shouldn't have been there. There stood a cottage, crumbling yet warm, with smoke rising from the chimney. A girl sat outside, humming a song Ethan didn't recognize but somehow knew. She looked up. Her eyes were gold, not metaphorically, but truly gold. "You followed it too," she said softly. "I waited 10 years for someone else to arrive." Her name was Mira, or so she said. She told Ethan the forest chose people who were lost, not physically, but spiritually misplaced. "Every path here," she whispered, "leads inward." She told him about the others who came and vanished. Some found peace, some found madness. "I stayed," she said, "because I'm afraid to go back and find nothing changed." That night, Ethan dreamed. He saw versions of himself. One who never followed the bird and lived an ordinary, quiet life. One who became bitter, working a job he hated, cold to his mother. One who became an artist, his pain turned into beauty. One who simply disappeared. In the dream, the bird spoke. "You can go back and forget this place, or stay and remember who you truly are." When he woke, the forest was silent. Mira was gone. Only a note remained. "You can't stay in between forever. Choose." Ethan walked back the way he came, but when he stepped out of the forest, it wasn't the same village. His mother was older, his home abandoned. The year was 2035. He had been gone for 12 years. But here's the twist. He hadn't aged a day. And no one remembered him, not even his mother, now living in another town, calling him a familiar stranger. He saw himself, a grave. His name, died at 17. He understood then. The bird didn't lead him into the forest. It led him into a version of death, a symbolic death, a place between memory and identity. And he had returned, reborn, but to a world that moved on without him. Now Ethan lives quietly in a city he doesn't recognize, helping others who feel like ghosts in their own lives. He doesn't tell them about the bird or the forest, but sometimes he sees it on rooftops, in reflections, watching, waiting, and he smiles because he knows sometimes to find yourself, you must first disappear.